Have you ever put on an album and it felt like it was telling your story? Well, today we're diving deep into a metal opera that our sources say is basically a map for finding yourself. We are deconstructing the epic mythology behind Unleash the Archer's album, Abyss. You know, the way this music is described, it's almost spiritual. It's this thing you can't quite put into words, but you feel it. It points to something really deep and transformative that just speaks right to your soul. And that powerful, unspoken feeling, that's really the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today. So that really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? Can a story told through some face-melting power metal with spaceships and epic fights, can that really be a guide for our own inner journey? Well, the argument here is a resounding yes. It actually provides a framework for understanding our own lives. Okay, so to really get this journey, we have to start with the album's sound and story. See, Abyss isn't just a sequel to their last album, Apex. No, it's a total transformation of the protagonist's world. And because of that, it becomes a model for our own transformation too. The core idea we're playing with here is something called the Soul Diver's Journey. And you can think of it like a blueprint for personal growth. It's all about seeing those endless repeating patterns in our own lives, finally facing the parts of ourselves we'd rather just ignore, and ultimately finding what it means to be truly free inside. So this is where it all begins, breaking the cycle and waking up. Our story kicks off with our hero, the Immortal, at this huge turning point. He's finally breaking a pattern that has trapped him for eons, this cycle of just being a weapon for someone else. And that really mirrors those personal ruts we all get stuck in, right? And the world itself literally changes around him. We go from this medieval fantasy setting in Apex, mountains, control, endless cycles, to a full-on sci-fi universe in Abyss, all steel and stars and a sense of awakening. Now this isn't just a cool change of scenery, it's a symbol for a massive internal shift. The old way of being is completely gone, and this one lyric just captures it perfectly. That feeling of complete disorientation. The ground he knew, his entire reality has literally vanished. He's been thrown into a totally new existence, a new phase of his life. And in this brand new, strange world, something amazing happens. Silence. For the first time in forever, he's not being ordered around, his mind is quiet. And it's in that quiet that he finally gets to ask the most important question of all. Who am I when I'm not playing the part someone else wrote for me? So having that quiet space to think leads to this huge moment of self-reconciliation. It's all about how we deal with our past. And believe me, this theme is the beating heart of the whole album. At first, his impulse is what most of us would do. Just try to erase the trauma. The lyric starts with this desperate need to just forget everything, right? Wipe the slate clean. But you can feel how unstable that is. It's a glitchy solution. Trying to just forget your past never really works. It just leaves you in this unresolved mess. And then, the breakthrough. The lyric makes this tiny but powerful shift. It's not about forgetting anymore, it's about forgiving. This is a huge act of self-reconciliation. It's the moment our hero chooses to integrate his past, not suppress it. And that, right there, is the real key to moving on. This new self-awareness is leading us straight into the story's climax, a big showdown with the villain, the matriarch. But here's the thing, she is not at all what she seems. On the surface, the mission looks simple. He's the hero, she's the villain. He has to defeat her, break her chains, and set himself free. It's the classic hero story we've heard 1,000 times before. But right here, the story stops and asks this brilliant question. Are we sure we know who's really the prisoner here? This is the exact moment the whole narrative just flips on its head. And here it is, the big reveal. The matriarch, the all-powerful villain, she's a prisoner too. Those chains aren't just tools she uses, they bind her. Her entire empire is built on fear, her own fear of losing control. She's that part of ourselves that desperately clings to power because it is terrified of being vulnerable. So the goal completely changes. It's not about destroying this evil part of the self, it's about integrating it. The Immortal is finally fighting for himself, not for her or anyone else. He doesn't kill the matriarch, he shatters her power and absorbs the pieces. He turns her rage into something he can understand, manage, and maybe even use. So, the big battle's over. What now? Well, the story doesn't just end there with a medal ceremony. No, it digs into the most important part of the whole journey. That inner conversation that defines what real, lasting freedom actually looks like. See, even after he's integrated her, her voice is still there. She's now that little voice in the back of his head, his shadow self, tempting him with all the old patterns. That desire for power and control, it doesn't just vanish into thin air. But the Immortal's answer is totally different now. He's got a new perspective. He makes a conscious choice to turn that power outward, toward compassion, toward helping others, toward healing the world instead of ruling it. The shadow self tries one last time, playing on that old cycle of revenge and feeling like a victim. Make them pay, it screams. I mean, how many of us have heard a voice just like that in our own heads? And here it is, the ultimate lesson. The Immortal doesn't push his anger away. He accepts it. He reframes it. He realizes that even this incredibly powerful negative emotion can be used as fuel to set himself free. It's about using every single part of yourself to rise up. And all of this, it brings us to the final and most important part of this whole thing. This epic journey isn't really just about some fictional character in space. It's about you. It's about us. The Soul Diver's journey isn't about becoming some perfect, shiny hero. It's a journey of return. It's about peeling back all the layers of expectations and fears and the cycles that other people put on you so you can get back to the real you, the person you were before the world started telling you who you had to be. And that's the final thought. This whole story of awakening, of integrating your shadow, of finding true freedom, it's not just a story set to some incredible music. It's a mirror, reflecting a potential that exists inside every single one of us. The story is a metaphor, and you are the Immortal.